We humans are colonized by a large number of microflora, and this number is even larger than our own life cells, since we are 60% water and more than 35% minerals and dead tissues. Hello, I am Arun, and today I welcome you to my third lecture, which is on Streptococcus group of bacteria. Though this group of bacteria is even less than 1% of the species that we have as in our microflora. Today, in this lecture, I will tell you about the microbiology and classification, basically the Lancefield classification of Streptococcus group, and pathogenesis, virulence, treatment, diagnosis of diseases caused by these specific group mentioned in the Lancefield criteria. Microbiology. These are gram-positive, chain-forming, spherical and ovoid group of bacteria, which can be strict anaerobe and facultative anaerobe. The one which are facultative anaerobe are mostly responsible for human pathologies. On culture media, they are mainly cultured in enriched media, that is liquid culture. They are capsulated, and their capsule is important for serological classification. In Lancefield classification, we use specific antisera, which are specific for each group, and this antisera react differently in each group, and that is based on capsule. These can be beta hemolytic group, these can be alpha hemolytic. The one which are more than 5 mm, the one which causes hemolysis more than 5 millimeters, are classified under Lancefield classification. They can be alpha hemolysis, which is further classified based on further reactions with antibiotics such as bacitracin and other antibiotics that are used. They can also be gamma hemolytic, or also called non-hemolytic group, and it forms another group in the Lancefield classification. So now again, the hemolytic properties. The one which are hemolytic bacteria, they are further classified based on I am giving you just one example, that is bacitracin. The one which are bacitracin sensitive is Streptococcus pneumonia. We already talked about this in last lecture. The one which is bacitracin resistance is Streptococcus varians. It is less pathogenic group of bacteria, mainly forms the microflora of our oral cavity. Another group, that is beta hemolytic one, it is under Lancefield group, same as I told, the one which is forming more than 0.5 mm of hemolysis will be in Lancefield classification, and it forms group A, B, C and G. And the last one, which causes gamma hemolysis, is under the group D, which is mainly Enterococcus. Now this is one of the very important group, that is Enterococci, and I have main focus in this lecture today on Enterococci. Now I will go through the examples in these groups, group A, B, group C, G and D, and in further lecture I will not repeat these names. I will simply go group wise. Now the group 1 includes Streptococcus pyogenes. It is beta hemolytic. It is responsible for pharyngitis, impetigo, cellulitis and scarlet fever. Now it is mainly responsible for pharyngitis, that is strep throat. So the association of group A bacteria is mainly with pharyngitis. Okay, the one group B is Strep agalactia. It is also beta hemolytic. Association of this group of bacteria is mainly with neonate sepsis. Okay, it also causes meningitis, purpura infection, UTI and endocarditis, and also with neonate sepsis, it is also responsible for peripartal infections, that is infection during pregnancy. The one which are in group C and G are mainly the one which causes infections in animals. You can remember it by name Streptococcus equissimus. So this equissimus is the word used for horses. So, and this group of bacteria mainly causes diseases in cattle and horses and other animals, and these diseases can further be transmitted from those cattle to humans. It is responsible for cellulitis, bacteremia, and endocarditis. It is less medically significant. The another group, group D, Enterococcus, again, it is medically very significant. We will talk about it deeply. It is responsible for a large number of diseases. Now the last group under Lancefield classification, that is gamma hemolytic group. It is also called variable group. It includes Streptococcus viridans, which are responsible for dental caries, and Streptococcus intermedius, Streptococcus angiogenes, Streptococcus constellata, which are responsible for brain abscess and visceral abscess, and Peptostreptococcus, which is the only anaerobic group, strict anaerobic group of Streptococcus, and it is responsible for causing sinusitis, empyema, brain abscess, and liver abscess. This group is medically not very significant, but still. Group D of Lancefield classification. It has enterococci and non-enterococci. This group is non-hemolytic group. Based on PYR hydrolysis, that is pyrrolinodyl beta-naphthalamide, the non-enterococci group does not hydrolyze this thing. The first death that was reported due to endocarditis was because of enterococci. It is part of our normal gut flora, though it forms less than 1% of gut flora species, but it plays an important role in keeping check, and also it is get checked by other bacteria. It can be a potential of outbreak, but it is still debatable. It can be found in form of single cocci, diplococci, and also in form of streptococci. It has 18 plus species. The most medically important for us are Antecocci facialis and Antecocci facium. Before, it was under streptococci group, but based on 16S RNA and DNA hybridization, the need to form a new group was felt for this group of bacteria. Also, it hydrolyzes esculin in presence of 40% bile. It can grow in 6% salt medium, that is unlikely for Streptococcus group. It is gamma hemolytic only for bovine blood that we use in culture laboratory, but it can cause complete hemolysis of human blood.